Welcome back to Trove One, everybody. We are out in the Ozarks. We're going to do a little exploring today. We've all been sick except Sarah. Everybody else has been sick. We're all tired. We've been cooped up. And Sarah said, let's go do something. I'm tired of being home. So we're out here in the rain in the woods. And we're just going to explore some roads this afternoon and see what sort of trouble we can get ourselves into. Like they're actively logging this area right here, which is kind of makes the roads better, but at the same time it's making them really muddy because there's been a lot of traffic on them, and they smooth them back out as they go, but it's still just soft. Well, we've hit a small roadblock. We're driving a road we have no business driving when it's dry and nice out, let alone when it's rainy and wet. The winch will come out before we get out of here because we're going down some gnarly stuff and there's no way we're climbing out without winching. And we got a huge tree in the way. So I guess the chainsaw's coming out too. All our batteries. Chainsaw's done.
Sure.
Well, the chainsaw is dead. This is technically a free piece, but it's a big piece. I don't know if we can winch it out of the way enough, but we'll give it a shot. All right, I repositioned to this branch. See if we can rotate it over. Maybe we can get enough rotation on it to get it out of the way. It's just dragging the front of the Suburban over, so it's just too heavy. Well, not quite as planned, but I think we can get around that. Maybe. Well, we've come across another one on the road. This one's broken down there. Be real easy to cut if the chainsaw was alive, but I think I can winch it. We're gonna try. ever go down a road and think to yourself, boy, I sure hope there's a better way out of here? That's about where we're at right now. If we end up having to go back up this, which we probably are, it's gonna be a long night. We have finally made it to our destination. We're going to get out here for a few minutes and enjoy the scenery before we tackle the drive out of here. We're going to try the other route out of here and see if it's better. I don't think it can be as bad or worse, so hopefully it's a little better. Sure is a pretty spot. It's a whole lot easier to hike down to this than it is to drive down here. There's a good camp spot on the top of the mountain on the other side of the creek here. You can camp up there, hike down the mountain, and come into all this. And it's really easier and probably faster than driving. There's another one of the waterfalls in this general area. There's another one on upstream from this one if you don't mind hiking, but we don't have time to do it today. Beautiful little area right in here though. Pretty cool spot, nice waterfalls. Well, I think it's time for us to load up and see if we can get out of here. Well, we made it out of there. Fortunately, that road was a whole lot better than the other road, so it was pretty easy coming out of there. Now we know the good route to go in and the fun route to go in, and we'll probably not take the fun route. Maybe when it's dry, but when it's wet, that would have been a nightmare to climb out of. But we're gonna head home now. Is that good enough? for an afternoon of getting out of the house.
Thank you.
She's high maintenance. Hey everybody, just had a couple things I wanted to go over in this video. So we usually post our routes to Patreon for our Patreon followers so they can see the routes we go on if they want to go run some of those trails and things like that. We never publish routes elsewhere just because we feel like the Ozarks are our backyard basically, and we don't necessarily want a ton of people. Our YouTube channel is small, but if it did grow or whatever, we don't necessarily want all that publicity to go to the Ozarks. So we're trying to encourage people to go out near wherever you are, go out and explore and find stuff. And so we're not trying to make a route for hundreds of people to follow to go see what we've seen. We want you to go find your own stuff. But we do publish our routes typically to our Patreon followers. And it's one of the main reasons we even do Patreon. We appreciate the support of the patrons. It's really helpful. It's incredible that there's people that are willing to support us. But part of the reason we do the Patreon is so that we can share routes with people, but we're not just handing out routes to the general public. Kind of my theory is that if you're willing to spend some money to support us and then also have the benefits of some routes and things like that, that you're probably the kind of person that's not going to go and tear things up and be disrespectful and leave trash everywhere and things like that, because you're more invested into it. And so that's part of the reason we set up Patreon. I know some people don't like Patreon. I think it's a very useful tool, and we're very thankful for our supporters. It's been really cool to see. But this road that we just ran, we're not going to be posting even to Patreon because found out not very long afterwards that the roads we went on are now closed. The Forest Service just came out with the 2024 Motor Vehicle Use Map, which is the map that dictates what roads in the National Forest are legal to drive. And the roads we just ran, not all of them, but the ones that go down to that waterfall are now closed. So you cannot legally drive to that waterfall anymore. You have to hike to it, which we will probably do. It's a beautiful hike. It's a good spot to hike. There's more to see if you're hiking around there. But you can no longer drive to it. And that's one of several roads in the Ozarks that have been closed by the latest motor vehicle use map. So if you're going to the Ozarks or the Ouachitas or any national forest, you have to get the motor vehicle use map. You need to follow it. Otherwise, you'll end up on a road that's not legal to drive, and you can get some really hefty fines. I know there's some people that don't care, and I get that perspective. I grew up hunting in the Ouachita National Forest and things like that, and for locals, the motor vehicle use map can be very annoying because some of these roads you've been hunting for generations, and now the Forest Service saying you can't go down there, and there's a really good hunting spot down there. And some locals just don't care. They've been hunting that spot for generations, and they're going to keep hunting that spot for generations. But, that's for every person to decide what you want to do with legal stuff like that. But I understand that perspective because it's kind of dumb. You got perfectly good roads that are being shut down they don't give a reason, they just shut them down. And sometimes they do. Some of the ones that got closed this time around had washouts on them, and they probably don't have the money to fix them, because it's the federal government and stuff like that. But anyway, that's all to say, we won't be publishing this route, and a little bit of the motor vehicle use map and some of the things that go on. So take care of where you're going as best you can. Pick up some trash. Don't be a litterer. Try not to tear things up. And hopefully we don't get more roads closed. But we all know we probably will, because that's just kind of the way things seem to be going. But on another note, we are going to be with the Suburban and the camper, we're going to be at the More Expo in April. We're going to be in the Storyteller area. We went there last year just looking around and stuff. We weren't in it or involved or anything, and it was pretty cool. And we got to talk to some friends, followers of the channel that we ran into there, which was really cool. And so we decided this year we were going to apply to be in the Storyteller area, and it got accepted. So we're going to be there with all our stuff. So if you want to come out and see us and see the rig and the setup and our craziness, we are going to be at this More Expo. I think it's April 19th and 20th, and that's up in Missouri. So
hopefully by then, the plan is to have the 6.0 swapped in, the manual swapped in. Hopefully everything goes as planned on that. We're working on pulling the other 6.0 right now over at Tracer Customs. The transmission is getting rebuilt at a transmission shop, so we just need all the pieces to come together. And there's going to be some more stuff that you'll probably be seeing coming up, some additions to the Suburban, the camper. We got some cool stuff coming up. Some big things are happening, and I'm pretty excited about it. And a lot of that will be done by the More Expo, we hope. So we're going to be at the More Expo. Come out and see us. It's going to be good. There's tons of cool stuff there as far as equipment and lighting and tents and all kinds of overland and off-road vendors. It's a pretty cool event. So come out and see us. And that's all I got. I'm going to go pack up because we're about to go camping. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.